fine. I'm just gonna do this entire video with a cane corso in between my legs, using my foot as a pillow while he naps. What's up, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Kara Corey here, registered dietitian, and for today's video, I'm gonna do something a little bit different. I've done this before on the channel, but I'm gonna take you through some quick and easy meal prep to give you guys some food ideas, some meal ideas, and this is specifically for me for my work week. And so this isn't like a full day of eating that I'm sharing with you, but I'm going to share with you how I go about prepping and deciding on meals for the work week. So I usually plan a breakfast, I plan a lunch, and I plan a second lunch that I usually bring to work with me, in addition to some snacks. So I'm going to give you guys some options for that, share with you how I go about making the food, and the common theme here is I keep it simple, because oftentimes when I work with people, it's part of the issue is having accessibility to healthy meals that don't require you to be in the kitchen for hours upon hours. And as much as I like cooking, I also am a very busy person. So I just do enjoy eating simpler meals and finding ways to make things quick that I know I'm going to enjoy, that are gonna taste good, so I actually want to eat them. That's super important. And budget is also a consideration too for a lot of people. A lot of the meals and the foods I'm going to share with you today can be purchased at Aldi. I do like to utilize Aldi for a lot of items. But yeah, so you can certainly save money by checking out their produce section. Or this time of year, it's great to hit up farmers markets. New York is a little bit slow in terms of the weather, so we don't really have as much going on yet with farmers markets, but that's always a great option to buy locally, support local agriculture, but also to save your dime, you know what I'm saying? So we're gonna get into it. So real quick too, how I go about kind of planning my meals for work. I do have some staple foods that I love that I always purchase. For me, I know what proteins I enjoy, so it's helpful to kind of have a starting point of what staples you enjoy. Like, what proteins do you like? For me, I know I like eggs, I know I like turkey, I know I like beef, I know I like Greek yogurt. Like, these are all things that I know I like. They're simple and they're versatile, so I can modify them, add them with different things, so I also don't get sick of them. Same with your carbs, with your fruits and veggies, with your fats. Like, think about what things you like, and if it's challenging for you, and it might sound silly, but it is challenging for some people to know how to go to the grocery store and shop and really plan out meals. So maybe list it out, like fats, carbs, proteins, what you like in each of those categories, and then just start writing things down and pairing things together and see if it sounds good. And then take it from there, give yourself a grocery list, head on out, get the stuff you need that you don't already have in your kitchen, or if you can utilize what's in your kitchen first, that's obviously great too. But yeah, it really can be that simple. So you just have to take the time to dedicate to it. I am in the midst of a mini cut, so a lot of my meals right now are just more nutritionally dense. I try to pick foods that will assist me with feeling full, but also give me a good amount of nutrition, which is just gonna help me when I'm cutting calories, because I wanna still feel satisfied, I wanna enjoy my food and not feel restricted. So that's the intro to the video. With all that said, let's get into the meals, and I'm gonna share with you how I go about making each and every one of them. We're gonna start with breakfast, although this one, I mean, I feel like you can eat breakfast all day long, so what am I talking about? But this is something new I found, and I'm gonna make this up for breakfast. We're gonna make some sweet potato toast, and I got these sweet potato toasts from Wegmans. However, all you really would need to do is buy sweet potatoes and slice them thinly, because that's truly all they are. So for one breakfast option, I'm gonna take 2 of my sweet potato toasts. I'm gonna cook them in the air fryer, and while that's cooking, I'm going to make up on the stovetop some egg whites. You could use whole eggs, you could use meat, you could use peanut butter. I don't know, I'm running out of options here. This is just kind of what caught my eye, was adding some egg whites on top. And then we're gonna add some of my favorite Aldi salsa, which is hot mango Habanero Salsa. So that's gonna be one of my breakfast options, or just like a snack at work, depending on what I feel like eating for the day. With that one too, it's really versatile. You can top it with different things, maybe a little bit of cheese on top, maybe some avocado if you want. There's really a lot of fun things you can kind of play around with that makes it a little bit of a different fun breakfast, but also very filling and very nutritious. My second breakfast option that I'm gonna make up that's also really good to have any other time of day because it's very, very filling. This is gonna be my blueberry pie oat bran. So what I'm gonna use is just oat bran, which is a high fiber cereal. I like this compared to oatmeal in terms of the nutrition that it provides. So oat bran has 3 grams of fat, 26 carbs, 6 grams of fiber, and 6 grams of protein in a serving, which is 40 grams. So what I like to do is cook this up on the stovetop. I use 1 serving, and then I add to it for some extra volume. Again, with trying to lose weight, having more voluminous foods, things that are thicker, denser, more filling helps out. So I'm gonna add a serving of egg whites, which is 46 grams. And what I do is I just take the egg whites and I whip it into the oat bran. And actually, before we even add the oat bran in the pan, what we're gonna do is take some unsweetened vanilla cashew milk. I use 3/4 a cup of this, and I bring that to a boil, and then I go ahead and add in my oat bran, stir that up, bring that to a boil, and then I add in the egg whites. And this whole process, you're just stirring the whole time just because you don't want it to stick to the bottom of your pan. So this is a meal that cooks very quick, but you definitely don't want to go anywhere while it's cooking. To give it a sweeter flavor, I like to add in some Better Stevia English toffee drops, or you could just add in some stevia, some honey, whatever you like as a sweetener. And the essence on this guy is going to be the MTS Machine Whey in Blueberry Muffin. I add 3/4 of a scoop to that. And I like adding this to it because number one, it makes it taste like a blueberry muffin, but it creates a high protein breakfast for me. And sometimes I do struggle with starting my day with enough protein. And I hear it from a lot of people who struggle to meet their protein goals. And I think when you do start your breakfast with a higher protein meal, it makes it that much easier to ensure that you get in enough protein throughout the day. So having protein powder on hand, I do find really helpful. Maybe it's not necessarily the most budget friendly, but quite frankly, if you break it down per serving, there's 27 scoops in here. For the cost of a 2-pound tub, this is actually a relatively cheap avenue to get a good source of quality protein in your diet. So if you are someone that's struggling, it's worth checking out. I always recommend trying samples of stuff before you commit to like a 2 or a 5-pound tub, but that is one option to have something on hand that's quick and easy. You know, in my laziest days where I just don't have time and make excuses for myself, I can always grab a protein shake. So it is really helpful to have on hand, especially if you're trying to lose weight. So once we add the protein to the cereal, we just keep on mixing it and keep on mixing it. You don't want it to boil over or anything like that. So just mix it and remove it from the heat. Then what's really fun about this is I like to either top it with some fresh or frozen blueberries, mix that around, and it seriously is like this delicious treat that tastes just like a blueberry muffin. This dog cannot stop cuddling with me. Now, when I'm meal prepping, in effort to make it as quick as possible, I do like to utilize different means of how to cook my food. So oftentimes I'll use the oven, I'll use my air fryer, and now that it's really nice out, I'm also gonna use my grill. So this allows me to, once I have everything prepped, I can bada bing, bada boom, bada bang, get everything where it needs to go and not have to wait like, okay, let me cook this first and then I'll pull it out and cook that. So it is kind of nice if you have different methods of cooking. I like to utilize my slow cooker a lot as well. But for my lunch meal, what I'm gonna cook up is some 100% grass-fed ground beef. I'm gonna make these into patties and grill them on the grill. I'm just gonna leave these plain. I don't really want to add anything to them. And what I'm gonna have alongside with my beef is just gonna be some basic small little cut up potatoes. I'm gonna cook those up with a huge side of veggies. I'm gonna grill those up. And to grill my veggies, all I do is add some Pam spray to it. You can add any kind of seasoning that you like to your veggies. Toss them on the grill and just cook them till how you like them done. I like mine a little extra done. I like them to be nice and grilled and crispy. But the grill is also an excellent way to cook a lot at a time. So if you don't want to be cooking for one day and you want to cook for 2 to 3 days at a time, if you have a grill, you can put a ton of stuff on there, your meats, your vegetables, your carbs. You can throw it all on the grill and get a good amount cooked in a relatively short amount of time. And for the last meal that I'm gonna prep for work, or what I like to call my second lunch, because people always make fun of me for it, but I have found I do so much well in terms of adherence to just eating good in general if I go to work with enough food. And I can't stress that enough, because I think that's really a common mistake that a lot of people make, because you go to work and you're busy, and I get it, but you still need to be proactive about finding time to fuel your body throughout the day. It catches up with you at the end of the day. And no, it doesn't matter if you eat carbs after dark. That's not quite what I'm saying here. But what I want to get across is that your body does need fuel. So if you wait till the end of the day and start eating, number one, you're not nourishing your body through the day. Number two, you're going to end up having that bottomless pit syndrome, or some people even have issues waking up in the middle of the night grabbing food out of the cupboards because they're so hungry. So I've just found it's better practice for me to make sure I'm bringing enough food to work for the day. So for this meal, what I'm gonna make up are some blue cheese and spinach turkey burgers. So I love turkey burgers. We make them all the time in the air fryer. And I just want to change it up this week and have something a little bit different so that I'm a little bit more excited about eating the same old basic turkey burger. So what we're gonna do is take some lean ground turkey, and I'm gonna chop up some spinach, I'm gonna chop up some garlic and salt and pepper and just mix that around into a patty. And I'm also gonna add a little bit of reduced fat blue cheese as well. I think that's just gonna give it a nice creamy flavor. And we're just gonna go ahead, mix those into patties, form them into patties, and then I'm gonna cook those in the air fryer because I really enjoy how they taste in the air fryer. Or you can also cook them on the grill with your burgers at the same exact time and get it done together. I was gonna cook some Brussels sprouts. That's what I had planned. Started chopping them up, and for whatever reason, they looked like they had went bad on the inside. So that's gonna be it for what I have for fresh vegetables. This is the time where I like to rely on having frozen vegetables in the freezer, so I highly recommend you guys do that as well. There's nothing wrong with having frozen vegetables on hand. They are healthy for you as well. Most of them are picked at the peak of ripeness, so you're still getting a good source of nutrition when you eat things that are frozen. So I'm just gonna grab a bag of steamer veggies and throw that in the microwave to have alongside my turkey burger. The last thing I wanna mention are some of my favorite snacks that I bring to work and what I'm gonna bring with me this week, because again, be prepared, have snacks with you. You never know when you're all of a sudden just gonna get that urge to want a snack, and it's better to have something on hand than going to the vending machine or being tempted by fast food on your drive home. And I myself do commute to work and back, so I do take into consideration that time and how long it's gonna be before I can be home and realistically eat a meal. So for snacks, I do always enjoy bringing, making sure I have enough fat sources or fat. I don't eat a lot of high-fat foods, so what I often end up doing is adding fat to my foods, either through adding avocados, which I have here, adding coconut oil or butter, nut butters as well, or nuts. So I've got these wasabi almonds from Aldi, so I'm gonna kind of put a couple little servings of those together to bring to work with me. The other thing I've really been loving as a snack, and especially because sometimes I do just want something a little bit sweet, I just love Greek yogurt, and these are the Dannon Light and Fit Greek yogurts. They're not the best in terms of the probiotics that you get from them. There's better choices out there than Dannon Light and Fit because this only has 2 active cultures in it. You really want to go for 5, but this is what I grabbed. So we've got the strawberry cheesecake version here. And what I love to do is add these all bran buds to it. I'll add a serving to it and mix it up, and it just makes like a nice consistency. But what I love about the all bran is the nutrition that I get from it, It's got 11 grams of fiber in it, 8 of which are insoluble, so it definitely helps with regularity if that's an issue of yours. It's also not too high in sugar. I always go for less than 10 grams of sugar in a cereal. And it's got 3 grams of protein and not a lot of added stuff in it, so it's very basic. It's kind of like a nice topper if you want to do something other than granola. I do feel like I get more benefits from this. All right, guys, meal prep is complete, and quite honestly, this really did not take me long to do it all. It's hard for me to give you an exact time due to the filming process that actually just kind of slows it down, makes it hard to really assess, but this really was a very quick meal prep. For final stuff here, we've got my blueberry oat bran cereal. We've got my sweet potato toast with egg whites and mango salsa. Then I have some grass-fed burgers cooked on the grill with little potatoes and steamed veggies. Then I have my blue cheese, spinach, garlic turkey burgers with a huge thing of grilled veggies as well. We're gonna add some avocado in the mix. I've got my snacks. The only other thing I forgot to mention is I am gonna bring some additional fruit with me. Right now we've been jamming on some organic red grapes. They're so good. So I'm also gonna make those up to take to work with me. So this may look like a lot of food to some people, but it's really, I personally don't think it is, but I prefer to eat smaller, more frequent meals throughout the day. It's what truly sets me up for success when I'm trying to eat healthy and reach some weight loss goals. I don't really have recipes for all this stuff, but what I'm gonna do to make it simple for you guys is list in the description box each of these meals that I prepped, what items I used to cook them, the amounts, ingredients, all that kind of stuff will be in the description box, so all you have to do is expand it open, give a little screenshot there, and you can save that for future ideas for yourself to make it nice and easy. So I hope you guys found some helpful tips or ideas for easy meal prep by watching this video. If you did, please hit that thumbs up button. It always lets me know what kinds of videos you guys enjoy. As always, make sure you are subscribed before you leave the channel. That way you guys are able to come back and hang out with me on future videos. Be sure to comment below what your favorite simple meals are to meal prep, in particular for the work week. Where are my 9-to-5ers at? Because I'm one of them. Let me know below what your favorite go-to is that's quick to whip up. That way, for those of us watching the video, we can go down to the comment section and have some other ideas beyond what I've showed you here in this video. Love you so much. See ya in the next one. Not sure what I'm doing with my hands.